Hi, my name is Ernie Larson, and I want to come to you today. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm sitting here in my daughter's side yard in Mexico. It's a beautiful day. At home, where I'm from in Vancouver, it's mid-40s and rainy. Here, mid-80s, beautiful sun, birds. Her dog Canella will be visiting. But it's such a great time. Earlier this year, somebody on a Zoom call encouraged me to start sharing online. And I thought it was kind of a crazy idea. And my daughter is a co-conspirator, maybe, and urged me on and forced me to do this. But it's okay. We love her. I do. But I'm going to be touching on a variety of subjects that might raise some questions. Maybe some people will think, what a heretic. I don't know. Who is this guy? Comments are welcome in whatever form, and we'll see where this goes. I don't know exactly what direction this will take, but for sure I'll respond to comments and create other videos, and we'll talk about that. And there's going to be maybe in-depth things on several things that I'll just lightly touch in here. But also provide some links at the bottom of this for my favorite resources. And feel free to check them out. And please, don't believe it just because I say it. Go check it out for yourself. But one thing for sure, you know that I love you. And my heart right now is just so broken because we're so divided. Everybody's right and the other person's wrong. Whatever it is, it's religion, it's politics, and you pick it. We can fight over it, and then there's the element within that's the ultra crazies that are often burning my part of the country down. So it's just to me insanity. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you do when it's crazy? What do you do when life happens? You make your plans. None of us plan to be locked down. None of us plan to be our bubbles expanded to 6 feet. None of us expected that. But what do? Does it make you change inside, or you just get angry and explode? The pump just turned on. Awesome. That's funny. But my heart is for people. Those of you that know me know that I'm a pastor, or I have been a pastor. Pastor in the Oregon prisons, or I have. And my heart has always been search for truth, because I believe the truth will set you free. And fear is not a condition we're supposed to live under. So it's time to spread some love. I mean, it's really that simple. But what is that? And I just wanted to share my experience, and you can decide what it does for you. As I said, I pastored in the Oregon prisons, and that it was Proverbs 25:2 led me to that. And in essence, it says it's the glory of God to conceal a matter, and the glory of kings to search it out. So I was always looking for truth. What is truth? Because, we've got, how many denominations do we have? And one pastor might think one thing, and, it's just the way it is. We interpret. But then in 2011, something happened. I was pastoring then, and my daughter, Krista, brought her then fiance, Gerald Clark, to my house, and we had some pretty wild talks. He had done massive research and had copious notes. And if you wanted to listen, if you were willing to listen, he would talk. And I've always been open-minded enough to at least listen to somebody. And I don't have to argue with them to prove my point. It's not important. But I mean, to me, at the moment, it was afterwards, I thought, that was just crazy. Maybe crazy. Because he told me about the Anunnaki, a group of space travelers, if you want, aliens. I call them galactic travelers, that set up basically space colonies, getting natural resources that they needed. And there is scads of information of some really good people, and obviously Gerald's one of them. And as I said, those links will be in the bottom. But at the moment, that was nuts to me. I was like, well, okay, sure, yeah, but I know, I have the story of creation, I know. And and at the time I figured he must have really been hurt in the church, how that happens, and we respond somehow, or we react, and that was really my honest feeling at the time. And I thought, well, I'm just going to pray for him, and as I do all my family, and folks in my sphere. Well, time went on, and the other pastors that were in the prison, we would travel together, and conversations always flowed, and quantum physics would come up, and personally I rolled my eyes because I'm not a science guy, but the girls loved it. My wife and his wife just loved it, and talking about it, and so I heard about it, but I didn't personally read or research, but I thought, boy, it's just outside of me, my understanding. But one thing we both said was how we spiritually just grow, from one truth to another. We're at a place and we understand who we think we are and who we think God is, and then a new truth comes along, and all of a sudden it's what we believed was really good, but all of a sudden it got enriched because now we understand he loves us maybe in a different way, even more deeply, healing, whatever it might be. But that's your progress, it's just the spiritual life. You go from one glory to another, and you just understand God in a different way. So in those travels, I asked Rich if he'd ever read any of the Apocrypha, any of the other old scrolls, Old Testaments that are available, but, and he had not, and up until then I hadn't either. And then Gerald comes into my life, so I start thinking, well, I just want to know, because he said it was all written down. So I started to read, and watch YouTube, and there's just scads of stuff, and like anything, you don't believe it at first, and you start researching more, reading other people, and it just gets to the point where there's so much evidence in front of you, you have to believe something or not. You think either this is the grandest lie ever, or this is the ultimate truth, really, for our species, who we are, because I believe we're a people, a race that has a great amnesia. We don't know. We believe stories that people tell us, depending on what corner of the world we grew up in. The stories are all different. But when you understand the roots of those stories, they're all the same. And it just got to the point where I understand it. We need labels, and I don't know what my label is now, other than I was a pastor. Am I a shaman now? I don't know. I just love people, and the goal is to love yourself first, right? That's the golden rule. Love others as you love yourself. And if we get that down, our world will shift. It can't. The darkness can't stand around light, right? That's you turn a light switch on in a room that's dark, the darkness goes in an instant. If we fill our tanks up full of love and we just start treating each other with respect and a little dignity, just because you're my brother or you're my sister, we can shift things. And we don't have to scream at each other. We don't have to burn stuff. We don't have to yell. A hug goes a long way. So that's my heart for you, and I hope that whatever 2020 has brought you, that you can find some resolution, some peace inside your heart. And if you're all full of angst because of our election or whatever is going on in your life, I just bless you. I believe that we're antennas, and we give and receive frequencies. And people that are whatever level of frequency that you're receiving, because of what you feed yourself, maybe both food and what you listen to and what you totally believe, whatever, you can accept things at a certain frequency. Well, when you raise your love factor a little bit and your frequency starts vibrating at a higher level, all of a sudden that stuff doesn't bother you so much, and you can let go of some of that. That's the gold that comes along with knowing yourself. And it's one of the words of Christ that we never got as Christians, because I don't have it written down. I'm thinking it's the book of Thomas. It's know thyself. That was what he told us to do. We don't know who we are. We've forgotten. And if we got a true picture of who Christ is and the master that he was of love, we can walk, and we should be walking just like he is. And he did a pretty good job of transforming his world at that time. So have an awesome day. I just bless your life, and I look forward to the next.